Hey guys, welcome back to Watch Me World channel. So today I made a stack cake with a smear design, and I am basically using the Betty Crocker icing as well as the cake mix, the rainbow cake mix. And of course, we are not sponsored, guys, but this is the cake what we usually get in the supermarket because it's usually on sale. So I get this cake for $1.97 per box, and the icing also is $1.97 per jar. So it's pretty reasonable, it's not too bad. And I'm using 2 boxes of the cake mix as well as two of the white vanilla icing, the whipped one, and as well as the buttercream icing for the center, which you'll see us doing later on. So my kids did help me bake the cake today. They actually made the cake. I only iced it. So my youngest, she is separating all the dry ingredients, and basically it's just the 2 cake mix, and she just cut the top and now just pouring that all in the container before adding in the wet ingredients. So yeah, I got my kids to work today and they actually enjoyed making it. So it's a fun thing to do with your kids in the kitchen, and it makes you all involved, and it also gives you an activity to do, right? So now my youngest daughter, she is getting her hands all dirty with the cake mix, and now she's just gonna set that aside and plane it a little bit. Yes guys, we are gonna eat some plain cake. And now my eldest is gonna get all the ingredients for the wet one. So what are you adding in right now? You're gonna be adding in
5 eggs, which usually you really need to use 6 eggs because for a cake you'd use 3 eggs. But we decided to do something a little bit differently, and surprisingly it turned out good. We also used oil, 1 cup of oil, 1 cup of water, and
1 cup of milk.
1 cup of milk.
And then we just whisk that all together. And once we whisk that all together, we just set that aside until it's time to actually pour it into the mixture. So what I would recommend is using a bigger container for mixing out all your wet ingredients, because we almost spilled some of the wet ingredients because our container was just a little bit too small, and you want to make sure that you get all of that inside your dry ingredients so you're not wasting anything. See, it's almost going all over the place. Now it's time to pour our wet ingredients into our cake mix. And then we're gonna just give that one good mix. I will take over here because yet again our container is just a little bit too small. So for the next time when we are gonna bake this cake, we are going to go for a bigger container, guys. So now we're just gonna give that one good whisk, one good mix, making sure that everything, all the lumps are all smoothed out before we get ready to put that into our container to be baked on a high heat of 350 degrees. So make sure to have your oven preheated while we are getting our cake mix and our wet ingredients all in one and mixing it all together, so that when you're ready, the oven will be nice and hot to put your cake in. So once we get that all done, we're gonna get ready to grease our pans. So I did purchase 2 pans from the dollar store, and they're actually good. I was so surprised how they came out when I opened it, but they're good. $4 each from the dollar store, so it's not bad. So here we have little Bria. And what are you doing right here, Bria?
I'm going to mix the butter in the pan, and
You're gonna get it all on the sides and all in the middle. And you're gonna do it fast and fast and fast and fast and fast and fast. And you're having fun with it.
it's really fun.
Was it fun? Yeah, we're gonna do this
Enjoy
again. Yeah, I had fun making the cake too. Thank you so much for helping me.
You're welcome.
And there we go. It's in the oven and now it's baked. So Gigi, what did you do for the icing here?
I added in 4 spoonfuls of vanilla icing. Then in my bowl I added 1 drop of blue food coloring, and Bri added 1 drop of magenta food coloring.
Thank you so much for helping me, Gigi and Bria. You guys really did a good job on making the icing. It was a pastel looking color, and I think that's what you guys wanted to achieve, right? That nice pastel color. Yeah, it really came out really good. guys, take a look at the end results of the color that we got. So it was like a nice blue pastel color, and as my daughter mentioned earlier, the purple was like a magenta looking purple, but I think it was more like a lilac looking purple. I think she's the color expert. But anyway, so yeah, so they're just gonna whisk that all together, and then we're gonna set it aside. And now it's my turn. This is what I did. I iced the cake. So the girls made the cake, I put it in the oven for them, and then I iced it for them. So it's my first time doing a stack cake, guys. So I saw on YouTube that you're supposed to put a little bit of icing on the base, which I did. And now I'm going to be adding in the buttercream inside the middle of the cake. And again, I'm using the Betty Crocker icing. And as I mentioned before, this is not a sponsored video. It's just the cheaper one that I saw on sale, so I purchased it, and we're used to this brand too, so that's why I used it. So now I'm gonna be adding on the second layer, which I just placed it on top of the cake. And to add to this, guys, after you bake your cake, you have to let it cool, because if you add icing on a hot cake, it is going to melt. So we did have to place it in the fridge for an hour after we baked it, and then once we did that, we took it out, and now we're icing it. So I'm gonna cover this all with white icing first, which is the vanilla icing, which the girls had used to make the color icing that we're gonna be adding on later. And I just I'm using a spatula. I don't have baking tools like the smoother that those bakers use, because again, it's our first time making this, and I am not a professional baker. As you can see, I'm using the box cake mix. And now I'm just adding on the colors that the girls had mixed out earlier. I saw this on YouTube as well on how to get that smear effect, and I think we did an awesome job, considering that I used a knife to smear it on. So I think we did do a good job on this, guys. Tell me what you think in the comments too. Do you think that this cake looks good for a beginner baker? I think we did a pretty good job, and honestly, it's a very moist cake after we cut into it. It was so moist and nice, like tasty. I think we baked it for like 35 minutes or 30 minutes, but you can follow the instructions on the box as well, guys. It tells you in details how long it's supposed to bake when you're using like a baking pan or a muffin tin or whatever you decide to make it in. So now I'm just adding on the blue that my daughter had mixed out too, and once I get just little globs of the icing on the cake, then I'm just gonna smooth it out with the knife. And honestly, I thought this was gonna be so difficult to do, but like it was so easy. You just need some patience. And you can also use, like, if you're a professional baker or if you're planning to, they have like this turning thing for the cake. But as you can see here, I'm using a plate, and I'm just literally just turning it with my hand, and it's giving me the same effect. Like, it's doing a good job. I did end up adding a little bit more blue because I wanted it to be like blue and pink throughout, or purple throughout. It looks kind of pink here, but it is like a purplish, a lilac-y looking purple. So I did add some more blue on top, just so that the blue could be at the bottom and the top, and not just like a ombre look. So I did end up doing that. And then guys, I did not have a piper for the top, so I used a Ziploc bag. I folded it in half, and then I added in the blue and pink icing to give it that would you call this an ombre look? Yeah, like an ombre look with the flowers. Like, it didn't make perfect flowers because I am using a Ziploc bag, but I tried my best. For the next time doing the cake, I will be purchasing the piper, the cake piper, so that I can make the perfect flowers, because I do like to see that on the cake. But I just wanted to try something because I thought that just the decoration on the side was just a little bit too bare, so I wanted to add something on the top. I think it came out really good. What do you guys think? Like, I think it came out really nice for a beginner. And then we added on some sprinkles on top just some blue sprinkles, and now we're gonna cut our first slice. Oh my goodness, look at the icing in the middle. Next time I'll put a little bit more. But the cake was tasty, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.
That feels good!